Hi, my name is Doug Hutchings. I am the Community Relations Specialist for University of Phoenix's Central Valley campuses. And today we're really going to talk about online education and kind of exploring online education. We're going to go ahead and cover some online platform information, characteristics of online students and schools, some challenges that might come around in the online world, and obviously some services that really will help overcome some of those challenges that are there. And I just want to kind of stress that online education, as we've gone through this pandemic, has become a lot more, important. It's out there, but it's been growing over the years. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, in 2018, they published that 6.9 million students were doing any distance education, right? And that's really just they're doing some type of distance education. They're doing at least a class here or there. And 3.2 million students were actually doing exclusively online programs. That's out there. So that's a pretty good population throughout the nation of students that are actually working online these days. And so it's become increasingly important. And obviously, the pandemic has kind of thrust us into a world that's a lot faster on that side. Online has really allowed us to solve some of those real world issues like education during a pandemic, right? It's there. Other institutions might use this to go ahead and provide increased access by freeing up if they have limited faculty in certain areas. So online classes, they can sometimes teach a little bit more, or if they have certain courses that are difficult to get, then they can provide more of them through the online world. University of Phoenix in particular kind of caters, and we want to try to provide access to those people that usually work and go to school at the same time. It's kind of our target area that's there. And I just want to show you an example of that just with one of our students here on this next video.
I never imagined I'd be playing in the big leagues. I still honestly have to pinch myself and can't believe I get to play baseball for a living.
He has struck out 5 times.
My dad just told me if you want to get better at something, you got to work hard at it. You're going to have to be the first one to practice, the last one to leave.
No, but it outworks goal.
I always knew I was going to go back and finish my degree. I had worked really hard for 3 years. I didn't want that work to go to waste. The biggest thing with going back to school while I was playing was just trying to find times that I could get my work done while it wasn't going to take away from our family time. Whenever I go into a situation, whatever it is, I just want to give it my all and do the best I can. I made it my mission that nobody was going to work harder than I was. Whether that's baseball, whether that's school, whether that's being a parent, whatever it is, whatever you're passionate about, it's going to take a lot of hard work.
It's a home run. Paul Goldschmidt.
So Paul's a really good example. He used to play for the Diamondbacks, and he now plays for the Cardinals. It's there of the University of Phoenix mission. And really in here in the mission, you'll see that we want to provide access to education for people in our communities that haven't necessarily had that option before. And one thing I would recommend doing is that for all institutions that you are looking into, look at their mission statement. It's a really good insight to what they do at that school. And a lot of times you want to make sure that what you want aligns with their mission statement that's there. It's a really good thing to kind of look into and kind of make sure that your investment in time and money into this, to yourself at this school, is going to be, the right fit. They have to be the right fit for you, and you have to be obviously the right fit for them too. I'll take a few minutes here just to kind of talk a little bit about just the kind of type of educational environments that exist in the online world, right? So you have the types and then also the structures. And the types of environments that are out there are typically referred to as asynchronous, synchronous, self-paced, and hybrid. And surprisingly enough, University of Phoenix actually has an example of each one of these that's there. So I'll give you an example of what that kind of looks like. The asynchronous environment essentially is a fancy word that you can do those classes at any point in time throughout the week. You usually have week-to-week deadlines, that's there, but you get to pick and choose when to do that schoolwork. So there's not a specific time that you have to be logged in. The synchronous environment, I'll just get into that. That asynchronous environment has been traditionally what our 100% online programs have always looked like, where you have that ability to kind of, have those deadlines on a week-to-week basis and choose when to do that schoolwork. The synchronous environment has recently come around with University of Phoenix. We have campuses, and we actually teach classes at those locations. We're not just an online school. We do have physical campus options. that are there. But those students during the pandemic have had to move into a virtual setting. So they are actually in what they refer to as a synchronous environment, where they actually have to be in class at the same time, right? So our classes, they go to class 1 day a week from 6 to 10 p.m. So during that 6 to 10 p.m. hour now, they're synced in, right? They're synchronous environment on a virtual platform, talking with their faculty and talking with other students that are there. The self-paced option is kind of a newer one and kind of more unique that's out there. We have the example of something called what they call a competency-based learning model. And that is not for our undergraduate programs yet, but we do have it available for our master's. Our master's in business administration is the only program we have available on that platform. But you might see other schools that offer it that's there. And essentially how that works is that you have to prove that you are competent in that area in order to move on in your program. So it's a little bit different than take the class, pass the class with a grade, and move on to the next class, right? You have to show that you know that knowledge before you pass and move on. That's there. And then the last thing is the hybrid, and that's really just kind of a combination of really an in-person option and an online option. That's there. We have something called the FlexNet group. We've run them for some undergraduate and a lot of master's level programs, where how our structure is here, and we'll get into structures here in 1 second, is that we do classes, one class every either 5 weeks for bachelor's or 6 weeks for master's. And what happens is that the first week and the last week of those students would be in class that one night a week from 6 to 10 p.m. And then the weeks in between, so the 3 or 4 weeks, they would do those 100% online, and they would participate in kind of an asynchronous environment during that time frame. That's there. So that kind of gives you an idea of what the structures look like. Structure-wise, University of Phoenix does the one class at a time model, right? Where that's there. You're going to have other schools that are going to offer potentially either multiple classes in a block or a semester. And so you might have those around as well. Moving down the line, I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about, this just gives you University of Phoenix's student population. These are good questions to ask other institutions when you're looking into them as well. Talks about our 85,000 current students, our million alumni. We've been doing online for a long time, 25 years. Talks about our degree programs and certifications, and then talks in here about our accreditation by the HLC, which stands for the Higher Learning Commission. And we've been continuously accredited since 1978 on that side of the fence. I'll mention accreditation, definitely something you want to look to in an online world. Make sure that those schools, have that. If you need more information about what accreditation is or how it works, Department of Education has some great information that's there about their accrediting bodies. So that's good place to turn for that information that's there. I will briefly mention in this round 2 of the accreditation piece, state licensures. So different states sometimes require different or licenses for certain occupations that are there. So a lot of times you'll see this in teaching, in nursing, in counseling or social work areas. Those are all different examples. If you're planning on going to some of those occupations, you want to make sure that the school that you're attending actually can go ahead and obtain the licensure within that state. So for example, like University of Phoenix, we offer a Bachelor of Science in Liberal Studies that includes a California teaching credential as part of the bachelor's degree, or you can earn it as part of the bachelor's degree. We recommend you to the state, and that's when they go through. That particular program, right? If you have a California teaching credential and go to Nevada and try to teach there, it might not necessarily go, translate that way. So if you're planning on, living in Nevada, then you probably want to go to Nevada. That's there to do a program that's part of it. So just something to mention for you and make sure that we're all on the same page. The next thing here is that we want to talk a little bit about kind of just some of the common things that people have issues with, and meeting the University of Phoenix what tools and technologies that we do to kind of help students with that. Biggest thing is we want to provide access, right? We want to make sure students have access to their environment. So we provide 24/7 mobile access there. We also have flexibility in our scheduling because we have more classes throughout the year. And so people have flexible dates and frequent start dates where they can, because we're only doing stuff in one class at a time. The other thing is that we do want to provide access to student support centers, tutoring options, and workshops. And the nice thing is here in the Valley is that you'll have access to both the campus-based options and the online options. And our campus also has like a computer lab you can go into, and a lot of those workshops are done at the campus, either physically or online. And so those are a lot of good resources and tools to help make you feel connected as an online student to the community. We also have around tech support, and then we also provide digital resources and ebooks for you to help obviously reduce the cost and also provide better access to you for those things. I'll briefly mention a little bit here, just kind of some of the student characteristics that people, have and that are successful. Typically students that are good online have good time management and organization skills. They tend not to fall behind. They're pretty tech savvy. They know how to get technical help if they don't have the answers, and they're really good at written communications there. So those are kind of some of the things that you probably want to look to if you're strong in those areas that that you can be successful in online classes. I will want to give you an example. So this is an example of University of Phoenix's platform. So we use something called Blackboard Ultra that's there, and I'll just give you a quick video. It kind of gives you a tour of what it looks like.
Welcome to Blackboard Ultra. When you first log in, you'll be taken to the Blackboard Ultra interface, a landing place for you to see up-to-date information about all of your courses. Features in the menu along the left-hand side let you do things like adjust your profile settings, view an activity stream with up-to-the-minute classroom updates, add personal events to a global calendar, and access your messages and grades from all of your current and completed courses. This is also where you will select your current course to enter the classroom. Once you enter a specific course, you'll first see the course content layer, which displays details and actions on the left, course content in the center, and the course navigation bar along the top. Links along the left side show information about your instructor, the course roster, a course description, the course room, sometimes used for collaboration with your classmates, your course attendance record, and a space for the instructor to post announcements. The course content section in the center is organized into folders that house everything from learning activities and weekly readings to assignments and discussions. Along the top of the classroom, you'll notice a series of icons in the classroom navigation bar. Let's take a look at what each of them do. The course calendar layer helps you keep track of due dates for assignments specific to this course. The discussions layer is where you can post responses to discussion prompts and reply to other students about what you're learning in this class in order to participate in weekly graded discussions. Next is the gradebook, which displays your grades for this course, including due dates, the status of your submitted assignments, the scores you earned on them once they're graded, and notification of feedback. Selecting any item in the gradebook will show more details about it, including any instructor feedback you may have received on your work. The messages layer shows all messages tied to this specific course that you have sent or received. Visiting this area anytime you log into your classroom will ensure you don't miss a message from your classmate or instructor. Finally, no matter where you are in your course, you can simply select the first icon in the course navigation bar to return to the default course content page so you never lose your place. For a more in-depth look at how to navigate the classroom, consider completing the Introduction to Blackboard Ultra tutorial.
So that Blackboard tutorial is actually a really good option for students, potential students even, to look into if they want to get a better idea. That's on our website too. That's there. It's kind of more interactive and almost like a mock site with things. I will also mention that with Blackboard, that we also, with our synchronous, with our campus students that have had to go online, that we use a system called Blackboard Collaborate where they have the video sessions that are there. One thing I wanted to get into is that most institutions, the online institutions, are going to have some support to you as a student. Again, a lot of people sometimes say that, oh, there's not enough support online, with online classes. And we try to provide as much as we possibly can to go ahead and make sure students are successful. So we end up having a faculty in each one of your classes. And we also have 3 other people that we work with: enrollment, academics, and finance. It's there. Enrollment representatives start you off at the beginning program, and they're really strong and heavy and work with you at the very beginning to make sure you get off to a good, strong start. Academics helps you through your scheduling. They set up your schedules for you, and there are academic resources if you need some help and assistance. And then finance helps make sure you apply for financial aid and goes through those things that are there. It's nice that all these people are set up on a system where if they're not available, you will also roll to their backup, so you can get questions answered right away. And the nice thing is about also being local here and having a local campus is you can go in and get some support and some help. They might not be able to give you the answers. They might have to connect you with one of these people, but at least we can kind of have somebody face-to-face that you can deal with and get some assistance with. Wanted to just kind of mention, obviously, we talked a little bit about what the online system looks like, but we wanted to create a system that has a mobile first technology. And Blackboard Ultra does have that. That's available. Mobile is obviously something that makes it very easy and convenient for people to access. Me personally, when I went through my classes, I used the mobile part a lot. When you have a free minute at a lunch break, or when you're on in a waiting room at a doctor's office, you have the ability to kind of log in and access your materials and do some posts. Have that information at the tip of your fingers, which is really kind of nice and convenient to have. I just wanted to give you guys here another video that kind of shows you the mobile technology and how that looks. The video on posting. So that's a way that a lot of online students will communicate, is through their posts. And so this is a really good example of that. Next one, I just have another short video about checking assignment deadlines too. All right. Well, hopefully that gives you a good idea of what the online, the mobile technology system would look like a little bit too. We do have some, each institution that you work with is going to have some options to go ahead and help their types of students that they work with. And since we work with people that work, right, that's out there, so we have something called a prior learning assessment where you get college credit for some kind of work activities that are there. And that's a way that people can save time or save money. And we also work with alternative credit providers to help speed up that process. If you want to do some extra work on study.com or Skillsoft, where you might be able to get some credits through those, Straighterline or Sophia, then you might be able to get some credits through that as well. I will also mention that one of the biggest things that people go back to school for is to kind of upgrade their career, right? And so you want to ask the online school about their career resources that are available. University of Phoenix has a system called Phoenix Link, and a career resource team, and a career services team that works on that to kind of help students find positions, to help in job searches, resume building. There's a whole bunch of workshops that are available through that. We also do have a lot of academic alliances throughout the United States, and we do have virtual career fairs for those academic alliance partners, academic alliances that are there, and they can actually go ahead and post their jobs on our website and recruit students through that. So the last thing I kind of wanted to mention is just kind of a recap of how everything kind of works out, and just kind of give you some ideas of the strengths and weaknesses of online, and then kind of wrap it up. So online is obviously very flexible, right? Helps you balance work life and school. That's there. It does help you save time. You don't have to park. That's part of it. Weaknesses are, it sometimes can be tough to interact online, and it's sometimes tough to go ahead and have virtual networks and make friends online, right? And it's also, you sometimes can feel isolated. The good thing is that we try to address those, and we try to create systems that help students and have local campus options where you can go in and get some assistance if you need to feel a little bit more connected and part of that community that's there. So those are kind of those things. When you're looking at an online institution, you really want to go ahead and look at their accreditation. You probably want to look at their resources and student services, technology support, total cost and financial aid, the schedule to make sure it works for you. Like ours is one class every 5 weeks. Other schools have different options. Make sure that that fits what you want. And then also make sure that your programs or the courses you're planning on taking meet your career goals. And then also that their faculty member are high quality that's there. So that really kind of concludes everything that I have for you. Hopefully it gave you a good insight to some online education options and what it kind of looks like to be an online student. But please feel free to reach out if you do have any questions, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.